Very good afternoon, students. Today we will continue with the remaining concept of future, that is forward contracts in the financial derivatives. So the subject of financial derivatives. So we will continue with the topic where we have left in the last lecture. So we will start with the pending pending part. That is the your forward market and its objectives and all arbitrage function and all these things. So till the last lecture, we have covered till here. Now we have covered till here. Fine, we have covered the uncovered interest arbitrage. Now we have to discuss is the covered interest arbitrage. Now, what is the difference between the covered and uncovered? Uncovered, we have already discussed that it is a type of arbitraging where the arbitrager is having only a one interest that the arbitrager is having have not secured or hedged its investment against the interest rate fluctuations and currency rate fluctuations. So here, now what is the covered interest arbitrage? So when covered means, let's start 1 minute. Yes. So we can cover the interest rate arbitrage as investors of short-term funds generally want to avoid the foreign exchange risks. For example, in the case of uncovered, as we have discussed that in the case of uncovered interest rate arbitrage, the arbitrager is having a problem or it is having a issue that the currency rate fluctuation or the foreign exchange rate risk is not covered. So in the covered rate here, the foreign exchange rate risk is covered. Now to cover the exchange rate risk, the investor exchange that now how it is covered. Now the investor exchange the domestic currency at a current spot rate. Now what he will do, he will change. For example, we are taking example of Indian national rupee and a dollar. Now what the person will be do, the person will be convert the currency into convert the domestic currency at spot price into the foreign currency. For example, if we have to take, if the rate of dollar is 65 rupees per dollar, and if we have to invest rupees 65 lakhs in the terms of dollars, so what the person will do here, the arbitrager will buy the 1 lakh dollars at the rate of rupees 65 each. So the number of dollars he will get is rupees 1 lakh dollars. So here he will exchange the domestic currency with at the at current spot rate. So to purchase foreign treasury bills, and at the same time he sells the forward amount in the foreign currency. Now what he will do, he will enter in the spot market. So he will buy the currency from the spot market, and he will enter in the forward contract. Now forward contract means he will sell, what he will do, he will at the same time he will enter in the forward market by selling the same amount on the future date. For example, if the person has bought a 1 year for forward contract or 3 month forward contract, so he has invested rupees 63 lakhs in the terms of 1 lakh dollar, 65 lakhs in the terms of 1 lakh dollars at a dollar rate in the USA. Now to avoid that, what he will do, he will enter into a contract to sell 1 lakh dollars for after 3 months. So whatever the price will be, he will sell the 1 lakh dollars at that time. So now it is known as the covered interest rate arbitrage. So the covered interest arbitrage, that is also known as the forward booking. So simply we can say that in this the person, what the person will do to avoid the foreign exchange risk, he will buy the amount in spot market, invest the amount in the foreign currency, and next on the same time he enters into the forward contract to sell the amount as equals to the investment he has made. So this is known as the cover. So let's take an example of covered arbitrage. So in this example, we will start with this. For example, we will continue with the previous example that we are discussing here. Here I have already explained that how the prices has been changed. Now why the price will remain same here. Now what will be the condition? For example, we have taken an example of two countries, that is India and America. Now in India the rate of interest is 8%, and in USA the rate of interest is 15%. So if we have invested rupees 1 lakh we can earn the option interest. The interest we can earn is 8,000 in India and 15,000 rupees in USA. Now, how to cover this interest? Now, for example, in this case, the price of dollar increases from, so we have invested at 64 rate, so this is the rate at which the investment has been made, and your rupee 1 lakh will become rupee 1 lakh 15,000. Fine. Now here, if the price of dollar is increased by, if the price of dollar is decreased by 14 rupees here, now what it means that here $1 is equal to 64 rupees, and here $1 is equal to 50 rupees. So it means that the price of dollar has fallen by rupees 50, rupees 14. So let's take an example here. Let's take a text box to explain this. For example, here now, in this case, $1 is equals to 50. So it means that there is decrease in the price of dollar by how much rupees? That is 64 minus 50. So here the amount will become rupees 14. So it means that there is the loss of rupees 14 per dollar. That is 114. ठीक है जी. So here the price of dollar is fallen, hence here there is a loss of rupees 1 per dollar. So here there is a loss of rupees 14 per dollar. Now what happened? What will be happening here? Now if the person has entered into the forward contract, so what he has done, he has bought that currency, that is 1 lakh US dollars at the rate of rupees 16 or rupees 64 per dollar from the spot market. So he has bought that. So if we divide this with 1 lakh by the 64, the amount of dollars, that is 1 lakh divided by 64. So the number of dollars the person can gain is, let's calculate and then we will explain that. So 1 lakh divided by 64. So it is 1562.5. So the 50, if it means that he has bought this much dollars. Now the price has fallen to rupees 50. The price of dollar has fallen rupees 14 per dollar. So if the price is fallen by the rupees 14 per dollar, it means that now you can buy, you have to put more of the rupees to buy a less of the dollars or the equal dollars. So now you have to pay the more amount to buy the same dollars. Now here in this case, what happens that it has fallen by the 14 rupees. So if it is fallen by the 14 rupees per dollar, so and if there is the 1562 dollars, so now number of dollars we will get today of, of, if we convert this into that currency, so there will be the loss of approximately $200 to $300. So now who will bear that loss? To cover that loss, what the person has done, he has, now we will close this. No, yes. Now what the person has done, he has at this time he has bought a $1,562 at the rate of 62 for the amount of rupees 1 lakh that he has invested. Now on the same time, he has sold a 3 month future of the dollars, US dollars, at the rate of rupees 64 per dollar. Now, what will be happen? It means that the value or the currency rate fluctuation risk has been covered. Although the price of dollar has fallen by rupees 14 per dollar, but the person will get, the same amount here. So the person will get the same amount, that is 1,15,000 dollars, because he has already sold that $1,562, $1,562.5 in the future market at the rate of 64 So when there is a maturity, although the price of dollar is fallen by the 14 rupees, but the person will get the same amount because he has already sold. So here he has bought $1,562 and he has invested in the spot market, and the person has sold the $1,562.5 in the future market at the rate of 64 rupees 64 per dollar. So at this point of time, the currency rate risk is covered. So either the price will fall or the price will increase. The risk of the interest rate risk of the currency has been covered, because now here the rupee 1 lakh will remain rupee the 1 lakh, because the loss, that is the loss of 14 rupees per dollar, will be covered by the contract which a person has done in the future market. So in this is known as the covered rate arbitrage. So here the risk is covered by entering into the forward contract. Now next, if the next let's take another example. If the price of dollar has been increased by rupees 6, the same example, if the price has increased from rupees 64 per dollar to, that is, rupees 70 per dollar, so in India, so it means that it means that dollar is becoming more stronger. Here the dollar is becoming weaker, and here the dollar is becoming the stronger. So if the dollar is becoming stronger, so it means that our currency rate is falling. So to cover that again, what will happen? So either if it is uncovered, then here there will be the profit and here there will be the loss. So now to cover this, what we have already entered into a 3 month or 1 year forward contract. So we have, uh, again, what we have done, we have bought a 1562.5 US dollars here for rupees 1 lakh in the exchange of rupees 1 lakh, and we have sold that in the future market. Now either, although the price of the dollar has been increased, so the dollar is becoming more stronger in in relation to the rupee. So in this case also, the investor, the arbitrager, will get the same amount, because the rate, the difference between this 64 and 70 in the future rate will be covered under this. So the abnormal gain in this case will be covered. So here there will be the loss in future contract, forward contract. Here there is a profit in the forward contract, so the amount remains same. So here there is a loss in the forward contract. So the arbitrager cannot generate a unexpected growth in the investment, because here there is a loss in future market, so forward market, so in which the contract the investor has entered. So this is known as the covered interest rate arbitraging. So now the concept of covered interest rate arbitraging is clear here. Now we will move to the next topic. Now next, so for example, a trader is having a 1 lakh dollars. Now what he can do, the same example we have taken there. If the a person is having a 10 lakh USD, so what he can do, first he will enter that in the future market. Fine. So he will enter at the rate of 99 rupees per dollar in the future market. That is the three month future market, forward market. So 3 months forward market. And next he can buy a 1 crore yen at the rate of rupees 100 per dollar. That is yen 100 per dollar. So what he will do, the future value of at the maturity you may get, that is the, and the rate of interest is 1% per annum. Fine. So if the 1 crore amount is invested for 1 crore yen is invested in Japan for 3 months, so there will be, it is 1 crore and 22 lakh 50,000 we get off on the date of maturity, after the date of maturity. So now what will happen now? We have already entered into forward contract of yen 99 per dollar. So if we sold this at per, that is 99 yen per dollar, so what we will get? We will get 1 lakh 12,626 USDs. Fine. On another rate, if the same amount is invested in USA at the rate of 5% per annum, so we will get the 1 lakh and 12,500 US dollars. So here the arbitrager has taken the benefits of the two different currency rates, as well as the interest rate, plus the difference between the value or the fluctuation in the currency. So here the risk is covered, although the person is earning $126 more if he has done the arbitraging. Although if he has not done the arbitraging, so he will get the same amount if the person has done the arbitraging. So here He has entered into the contract at risk, so he has covered the contract at the rate of 99, that is 99 yen per dollar, and he has entered in the spot market and he has invested the money. So at the maturity, the person will be having a 12,626 rupees gain by using the arbitrage function. Now, next, moving to the next slide. So till we have covered the interest rate arbitraging, that is the covered interest rate arbitraging and uncovered interest rate arbitraging. Now next, to save from the currency fluctuation, people usually sign the forward currency contract, so that they knew that exchange rate would what the rate would get in future. So what the person will do? He will enter into the exchange rate futures to cover the loss. Now, for this, he must know the spot rate and the forward rate. So, while entering into this, the person must go thoroughly on the spot rate, that is the rate which is today, and the forward rate on in which the person is entering into the contract for some future day. So, this is known as the this contract of forward and future. Now, moving further, what actually happens is the when the currency traders enter into trade with the intent of protecting an existing or anticipated position from the unwanted move in the foreign currency, that is also known as the exchange rate. So they can be said to have entered into the foreign hedge. So he is entering in the foreign hedge. Now by utilizing the foreign hedge properly, trader in the long trader that is a long a foreign currency pair. Now long a foreign currency pair means buying low and selling high, can protect themselves from downside risk. It means that downside risk means if the price will fall. And next, when the trader in the short foreign currency pair can protect themselves from the upside currency risk. Now, in the previous slides, we have already discussed in the first slide that what is the meaning of this, what is the meaning of long position and what is the meaning of short position, that we have already discussed. So this is a short selling and this is a long position. Now in this, the person protect himself from the downward risk. So because if he has bought at the lower and he has sold at the higher price in the foreign currency, so the if price will fall, so it will be beneficial for the person. And now in the short selling, the person has already sold the amount at the higher rate, and now he will buy or adjust the currency rate future at the lower price whenever the maturity date of the contract is there. So this is what we have discussed. Now next, interest rate parity. Now parity means a balancing. Now the balancing of interest rate, it is again directly related to the your foreign currency rate risk and all other things. So the interest rate parity. So what is the meaning of interest rate parity? The interest rate parity theory, it is the theory of foreign exchange, which states that if the interest rate in two currencies are different, so the foreign exchange rate will bring that difference of the foreign currency or the interest rate parity in the balance. So it means the balancing. For example, there is a rate of interest in two countries are different. For example, in India, the rate of interest is 10%, the interest rate for the investment, and for the in USA it is 6%. So the forex rate, as the interest rate is more, so the currency now the forex rate will fall till it has become equal to that. For this, we will discuss this with the example. Let's take an example. A person is having an amount for the investment is 63 lakhs. Now I said that if there is a difference between the interest rate in two countries, then it is balanced with the currency rate or the foreign exchange rate between these two countries. So let's take an example. So if the person from an India investor have to invest rupees 63 lakhs in any of the portfolio, or has has deposited that in the bank for the return. Now what will be happen? For example, the rate is 10% and 6%, and the conversion rate is 63 per dollar USD. That is rupee 63 per USD. Fine. So here the amount is 63 lakhs, and if we buy with this, we can buy a 1 lakh dollars at the rate of 63 per dollar, rupees 63 per dollar. So now what will be happen? The interest rate in India after accumulation a period, the amount will become 6,33,000 at the rate of 10%, and at the rate of 6%, the amount in the USA will become $6,000. So then at the end of the year, the person will be getting 69,000, 30,000, 69 lakhs and 30,000 from the investment which he has made in India at the rate of 10%. and in USA the person will get, that is $1,06,000. Now again here, as the rate of interest 10% is not equal to 6%, so what will be happen? It is said that the when we have two different rates, the forex rate will move in such a manner that it neutralize the interest rate. Now what will happen? The now it the foreign exchange rate, the foreign currency will move in such a way that it will neutralize the effect of this thing. So how it will be neutralized? It will be only neutralized if the price of USD falls in India. So how it can be calculated? So there is a formula to calculate, that is forex rate after 1 year. It must be equal to maturity value of rupees, that is this, or the maturity value of currency one upon the maturity values in the dollars. If we are discussing uh, about the INR and USD, but if we are discussing about two different currencies, then the formula will be maturity value in currency one upon maturity value in currency two. So it will it or the formula is always dependent upon the currencies which you have taken. So here the 69 lakh 30,000 upon 1 lakh 6,000. So the rate has become 65.38 after 1 year. Now what will be happen if the rate has if the Indian national rupees has fallen by $2.38. So it means that at the maturity, if 1,06,000 rupees, that will be equal to the 69 lakh 30,000, because there is the interest rate parity. Let's explain that how it happens. With an example, I will explain it with an example. Let's take a text box here. Okay, so here at the rate of 65.6, now 1,06,000 multiplied by, that is multiplied by 65.38. So the amount will becomes, it is 69 lakhs. The amount will become 69 lakhs 30,280 rupees. So this. So now what is there? So this states that the rate, that is the difference between the interest rate according to the interest rate parity theory. The difference, if there is a difference between the interest rate in two currencies, then that will be neutralized by the movement in the foreign exchange rate in such a way that it will become after a period of time. Now what will happen after 2 years? Now when we have entered into this, we have done the investment at that time, the rupees, the amount is 63 lakhs. So we have, if we are only watching this example, we think that we are getting more by investment in India and less by investment in USA. But now the foreign currency has moved in the way that the price of USD has fallen from 63 to 65 per. Now the dollar has become more stronger, and we have to pay more Indian national rupee to buy the dollar. So the amount will become 69 lakh 30,280 rupees. Now according to this, we are earning 280 rupees more in USD. So the interest rate parity is the theory which will balance all the things which are due to the difference in the two different currencies. Now moving to the next. Now the two important term, one is hedging and another is speculation. So while we are discussing about the forward contracts, we have to discuss these two things. One is the hedging and another is the speculation. So these are two different terms which means moving in two opposite extreme ends. Hedging means to hedge against the loss, to hedge against the risk of foreign currency fluctuation or risk of interest rate or any type of risk. Whereas speculation again means if we want to protect ourselves, but in hedging we protect ourselves, we are more defensive, and in speculation we become aggressive. So we become aggressive to get more return in the concept of speculation, whereas in the concept of hedging we try to protect ourselves from the losses. We will create a hedge against our investment to protect it from the unusual loss and unusual foreign currency fluctuations. Now what is hedging? Hedging means when a currency traders enter into a trade which intend of protecting an existing or anticipated position from an unwanted move in the foreign currency or exchange rate. As I have stated that hedging means when a person is protecting himself, it is more defensive approach. Whereas speculation is the aggressive approach, and hedging is the defensive approach. So they can be said to have entered into the foreign forex hedge. It means we have entered into the foreign exchange hedge. By utilizing this forex hedge properly, a trader that is long a foreign currency pair can protect themselves from downside risk. As we have already discussed, that downside risk means if we have bought a commodity already at a very lower price, now we know that the price is expected to get higher in the future time. Now if in the future time we have already bought it at the minimum price, beyond which the amount of securities cannot be go beyond that amount, beyond that price. So in that case, what we have done, we have entered into the long foreign exchange currency pair, and we are protecting our from downside risk that price will not fall and price will increase. Fine. Next, while trader in the short foreign currency can protect against the upside risk. Now, again, as we have discussed, the person who have entered into the short position means selling at high and buying at low. Fine. So the person, he can protect the person from the upside risk because he have already sold the thing at the higher price, and now it is the expectation that the price will not go beyond that point at where we have sold the commodity. So here the person is protecting, the hedger is protecting himself from both of these positions. Now let's take an example. For example, the spot price of Reliance, the share price of Reliance Communication in the spot market is rupees 100.30, whereas the future price, that is, let's take a 3 month forward contract, and the 3 month forward price is 103.35 rupees. Now what an investor will do, he will buy at 100.30. He will make a strategy to hedge its losses. So hedge its losses means that losses should not occur in the future period of time. Now, to protect this, what a person will be do, he will first watch and study thoroughly that what is the spot price and what is the future price. So here he has bought a share at the rate of 100.30 per share from the spot market. And on the same time, he has entered into the contract by selling the shares of Reliance Communication in the future market at the future price, in the forward market at a future price of 103.35. Now, after 3 months, or if we are discuss if we are take now if we are discussing about the strategies, now how the loss gets hedges, now how we can protect our investment. So now what will be happen? Now here we have bought and here we have sold. We have done both the things simultaneously, and we will get the delivery at this in if we on the spot selling. And for this, we have to deliver the product to the buyer at some future point of time. Now, as we have discussed, there are two positions. One is long and another is a short position. Now, if there is a loss in the spot market, now on the expiry, what will be happen? The future price must be equal to the spot price. So, what are the conditions that can happen? What are the maximum possible conditions, or what is the probability that whatever we can earn, what is the maximum profit that we can earn, and what is the maximum loss that we have to bear by entering into this hedging, by doing the hedging on the Reliance Communication? Now, what happens if the price in the spot market falls to rupees 90? So, if the price in spot market falls to rupees 90, it means that there is a loss of 10 rupees 30, 10.30 per share in the spot market, whereas we have already sold at the rate of 103.5 at the in the forward market. Now, and the forward market, we will having the profit in the future market at the rate of 13.35, because here the price is 90 rupees and 103.35 minus 90 will remains to 13.35, and here 130 minus 90 will be reduced to 10.90. So the net gain will be 3.50, that is rupees INR 3.50 per share. Now, if there is no change in price, so that if after 3 months on the expiry the price remains same, that is 100.30. So there is no profit and loss in the spot market because the price is same at what we have bought in the spot market. Now next, what happened? Again, if price is same, now we have bought at 100.30 and we have sold at 103.35. So here we are having a profit of 3.35. That is the net gain of 3.35. That is INR 3.05 per share of the Reliance Communication. Again, there we don't have any loss in this case, but we are having a profit of 3.35. Now next, if in this hedging Next thing, the price of Reliance Communication has increased to rupees 110. So these are the three possible outcomes that we will consider while doing the investment, while entering into the hedging contract or while doing the hedging. So now while doing the hedging, what the investor will do here, if the price has been increased to 110, so it means that you have bought a commodity at 100 or bought a stock at the rate of 100 rupees, 100.30 per share, and you are now selling at the 110 rupees. Now here the profit in spot market is rupees 9.70 per share, because you are buying at lower and selling at higher. Next, on the expiry of the contract, now you have to deliver the shares to the buyer, because you have already sold in the future market. Now there is a loss of 6.65 per share in the future market if the price has increased to rupees 110. Now in this, again the net gain will be 9.70 minus 6.65, so it came to 3.05. So this is the concept of hedging, that how a person can do a hedging. So that it is a more defensive approach, that you have buy a thing in the spot market and you have sold the thing in the future market. Now, next thing, if we take the inverse condition, you may sell in the spot market and you may enter the forward contract to sell and to buy on some future deals also. So this is known as the hedging, the concept of hedging. Now, next concept of speculation. Now, speculation, it is just simply we can say that speculation is the term in which the investor is taking a more risk. Now, here the person is not known as the investor; he is known as the speculator. So, the speculator is the person who want to gain more of the profit in the less period of time. So, he may try to earn in a day, in a minute, or overnight. So, the speculator is the person who want a profits very frequently or very fastly. So, he will not wait, he cannot wait. A person who is a speculator cannot wait. He wants, his nature is to earn the profit at a very short span of time. So the speculator is not a genuine investor. They buy securities with the hope to sell in the future profit. Simply, they are not interested in holding the security for a longer period. So the person is only known as the investor if he has hold the securities for the longer period. Now, if the person is not holding the securities for the longer period, it means that that person is known as the speculator. Now, speculator can be of two types. The speculation can be done in a two types. First is short-term speculation, and another is a long-term speculation. Sorry. So, in the short term, there are two type of speculators. First is the scalp trader, and another is the day trader. So, what is the difference between this? A scalp trader has done the investment for he has entered into the market for a very short period of time, whereas day trader, again, here the time is short but not a very short. Now what is the meaning of very short time? It means seconds to minutes, just clicking, just click to buy, and after 10 seconds, 20 seconds, as the price rises, just he has clicked to sell. So no overnight positions, only a few minutes or seconds. Next, if a person is a day trader, or he is, now here the person is known as a trader, not an investor. So if he is a trader, day trader, he will invest for the short term, that is the one day only. Either he will buy in the morning until the trade off, the session trade off, that is at the rate of at the time of 3 point at 3:45 p.m. the person has to sell. So here the person will invest for the day only and no overnight position. So he will known as the day trader. Now, if the speculation is done for the long time, although the speculation is only done for the short period of time, but there may happen that it can be for the long time also. Now again, there are two type of traders, a person under the long term. First is, also he can also a position trader hold from overnight to maximum 1 month. So the maximum time for which a trader can uh, hold the investment is his time tenure of 1 month, not more than 1 month. Now here, first is outright position holder. So the outright position holder, he takes his position in the future market relying on his belief in the future of the market, and may lead to huge profit and even losses. So here the person is thinking that the price of the security or the particular commodity which the person has bought will going to raise in the future. So he has entered into the long position. Now, if the person has entered into long position, there are two outcomes. One, after on the expiry, he will get either there will be the huge profit, or there will be the huge losses. So, because if the stock market not work according to the predictions of the trader, then there will be the loss, and if the market act according to the predictions, then there will be the huge profits. Now next, spread position holder. Now spread position holder means the person or the trader who focuses on the relative price movement. Now what he will think, he will watch closely the price movement in the security where he has done the investment, on which or either or where he is doing the trading. So here between the two or more commodities. So he will study the relative price movement between two or more commodity. Now what he will do? He will buy one commodity and sell another commodity. For example, we have taken a two commodities. One is iron and another is the petroleum. So if the person is the spread position holder, now he will closely watch the price of both the commodities. So if there is a loss in one commodity, so that loss can be covered by the trading of the another commodity. So what he will do, he will buy one commodity or sell another commodity. So by this, the loss will be hedged. Loss will be hedged in the case of trading also. So this is the long term position. Now that's all. We have now covered the whole module of the forward market. In this, we have discussed about the speculator, trader, hedger, investment, all the things: long-term position, short-term position, how the interest rate parity, your foreign currency rate fluctuation. Again, the interest rate futures that is covered, uncovered currency rate for forward futures, commodity rate forward futures. All the things we have discussed in this chapter. Now, in from the next we will in the next session, we will start with the future market. Here we have just discussed about the forward market. Now we will start with the concept of future market in the next lecture. So if you are having any problems or you having any queries, you can send a comment, you can comment, or you can send a feedback, or you can directly WhatsApp me on my number. So that's all for today's lecture. We have discussed all the things which are required. Thank you.